Good morning, everybody. I am actually not used to introducing myself, but with Sally and Alice setting the pace, I will sort of tell you who I am and talk a little bit about my journey. I haven't really talked this honestly about what I've been through since I went through it. So this is an important forum for me, and I thank Alice for giving me the opportunity, and also just coming to see me in the office and saying, you know, just be honest. I don't want you to just talk about things and gloss things over. People need to learn. Everybody needs to know the truth. My name is Andia Chakava. Some of you may have known me before as Laura Chakava. Laura is my first name, Andia is my second name, but I am using Andia now because I've gone through this renaissance, this rebirth. And so I really like to be called Andia, but if you check Laura, you Google Laura, you will see some information about Laura. Just in terms of myself, I am the co-founder of Alpha Africa Asset Managers. We are in the process now of waiting for a license from the Capital Markets Authority. So hopefully in a few months you'll be hearing about that. I'll be back in the game. Before, I used to be the managing director of Old Mutual Investment Group, managing over $1 billion in assets. I was the managing director, the youngest managing director in Kenya in 2008. At the age of 30. So I think it's also one of the young ones in the world. I've graced the top 40 under 40 lists. I'm one of the first female fund managers in Africa and one of the few in the world. I'm the non-executive director of East African Educational Publishers, which is a family-owned business. And once I got my directorship at Old Mutual, then my dad said, hey, come on board. So I had to prove myself first. And on Thursday, I was elected to be a non-executive director of Kenya Women Holding by Jennifer Rivera, the Jennifer Rivera, acknowledging the work that has happened as New Faces, New Voices. In terms of qualifications, there's economics, the MBA. Qualifications is good. I think it gets you there. It doesn't necessarily keep you there. So I am here to talk about New Faces, New Voices. I'm representing the organization, and I'll talk about it a little bit. But for me, it's more about diversity being a strategy, and I think Alice touched on it. It's not about women being a specific agenda. It's not about fulfilling a quota. It's not about feeling sorry for somebody. It's actually doing what makes business sense. And I think if I talk about the journey, after I left Old Mutual in 2010, I went to business school in London, and I think that was a very, very wonderful opportunity for me, because at that point, the global financial crisis, everybody was doing a reflection. Remember, the crisis was basically 2008, 2009, so 2010 was when the first bit of research was coming out about what exactly happened. And there was systematic failure. You couldn't say it was the fault of the auditors. You couldn't say that the regulators, how did they not see this? You couldn't say it was the fault of the CEOs. It just seemed the whole, everything, all levels of defense, all these global organizations that maybe we've all grown up admiring and wanting to work for them were now very humble, about to collapse the economies. It didn't even stop that. Governments had to print money to save them. And what happened to those governments? Those governments themselves became bankrupt trying to do that. There was a lot of civil unrest, because if a government bails out a company, who's going to pay that? That's taxpayers' money. Where is that money going to come from? It means that the tax rates for a very long time will be very high and very punitive.